Hi everybody, it's me, Hercules here, and I'm making another video. It's my second video on Xena Warrior Princess YouTube channel, and this video is going to be on a rant, and this rant's going to be on Microsoft Windows 10. Now Microsoft Windows 10 is the current version of the Microsoft Windows operating system, and unlike all the other ones that came, like there was Microsoft Windows 1995 AD, Microsoft Windows 1998 AD, Microsoft Windows Millennium Edition, Microsoft Windows 2000 AD, Microsoft Windows XP, Microsoft Windows Vista, Microsoft Windows 7, Microsoft Windows 8, Microsoft Windows 8.1, Microsoft Windows 10. Now the problem with 10, or Microsoft Windows 10, is that Microsoft is trying to force people to put Microsoft Windows 10 on their computers if they don't want to. You see, Microsoft basically thinks that because they have the right to force the operating system on people who don't want it. You hear all kinds of stories. I have actually watched videos where people have talked about, downloading Microsoft Windows 10 on computers that had Microsoft Windows 7 and then have these computers crash on them. The computers don't work anymore, they crash. Either they're either having diagnosing PC pages or page, or just crash, or black screens, Or people are getting Microsoft Windows 10 put on their computers when they got Microsoft Windows 8 or Microsoft 8.1, don't want it, and then they have to install programs like for Never 10 or XWP Control Panel or something to actually first delete all drivers and files, then disable the part on Microsoft Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 that allows it to install the driver for Microsoft Windows 10. Microsoft doesn't care. They think that because they own the operating system, they think they can force it on people. You see, when people buy a computer, they also buying the version of the operating system that comes along with the computer. That's their computer, and they have the decision to decide what they want to be done with their computer, and that includes what operating system they want to go with. I believe Microsoft is wrong with trying to force people to put Microsoft Windows 10 on their computers if they don't want it. Okay? And that's the truth. If they don't want it on their computers, they don't have to have it on their computers. But Microsoft seems to, act so immature and so unprofessional about this, is they try to sneak it on people's computers. And they get upset when people don't want it on their computers. People who have actually had it on their computers have actually had their computers either one, lock up on them, two, the start menu disappear, or three, get error messages that say, oh, PC's run into a problem and we'll restart once complete. If you want to check on what the problem is, do it when it restarts, whatever. It's just sad. I mean, Microsoft seems to believe Microsoft seems to believe that, well, it might be your computer, but it's our operating system. That's their attitude. They think that they have the right to force the operating system on you, and when they don't. Now granted, there are people who use Microsoft Windows 10 on computers, either computers they bought, okay? And granted, there are some people who haven't experienced any problems. But there are people out there who have experienced all kinds of problems with computers either locking up, error messages, all kinds of stuff. Now, if you have a computer that's got Microsoft Windows, by all means, you need to install Never 10 or whatever there's XWP Control Panel, I think. Those are two programs that actually disable the update part of Microsoft Windows 7, 8, or 8.1 that allow and it also deletes files from the computer. And also, that disables that part for Microsoft Windows from ever installing Microsoft Windows 10. I think that Microsoft is unprofessional, trying to force an operating system that is all messed up. Two, not too many. To some people are happy, and I mean, what's the big deal? If somebody's happy with Microsoft Windows 7 or Microsoft Windows 8 or Microsoft Windows 8.1, or if they're happy with Microsoft Vista, Microsoft Windows Vista, or Microsoft Windows XP, then what's the big freaking deal? Seriously, Microsoft, it should be a choice. If somebody wants to, install Microsoft Windows 10 and pay the fee, that's their own choice. But don't try to force it on people. I mean, that is just so messed up. And I used to be a big Microsoft supporter. I used to think their operating system was great. Well, I find out it's not so great. I find out that if you want an operating system that works right and doesn't have rarely any problems, you gotta go to Google Chrome OS or Apple's Mac OS. Okay? At least Google and Apple don't force their operating systems on you like Microsoft does. I think it's messed up. I mean, if you don't believe me, I know there's going to be people who think, oh, Microsoft knows what they're doing. Like, you're going to have a bunch of, fanboys who basically, fanboys and fangirls will try to defend every single thing Microsoft does, I'll do old and the new. Well, first off, you can't, that's the, sorry, I don't care what Microsoft thinks, but you can't go around trying to force the operating system on someone if they don't want it. If they paid their own money, either debit or credit or whatever the case is, and they bought a computer and it's got Microsoft Windows 7 or Microsoft Windows 8 or Microsoft Windows 8.1, then they should be allowed to keep that operating system. And if somebody wants to get Microsoft Windows 10, then that should be his or her choice. It shouldn't be forced on them. Especially when it's all fucked up. Especially when you try to install it on a computer that's running Microsoft Windows 7, and then you fuck your computer up because you get error messages like diagnosing PC, or you just get a black screen. Or if you're installing Microsoft Windows 10 on a computer that's running Microsoft Windows 8 or Microsoft Windows 8.1, either get it where it either locks up after fleet mode, either locks up where you can't hit the start menu, or getting error messages that says, oh, PC's run into a problem and will restart once we're complete. Look for solution to this problem when it restarts. Yeah, especially when the current's all messed up. And I know Microsoft doesn't give a shit. They claim they have no reliability for their operating system. They claim that everybody loves Microsoft Windows 10 and they can't understand why people don't want it. They think that Microsoft thinks that because they own the operating system, they think they have the right to force new versions on you. No, they don't. Okay? Microsoft, you can't do anything to this computer because this is an LG Chrome-based computer running Google Chrome OS. So this is one computer you'll never be able to do anything about. You'll never do nothing to. Okay? And I know it pisses you off that this is one computer you can't have anything to do with. You are unprofessional. I think it's sad that you try to force people to use the operating system when they don't want to use it. I think it's sad that your new operating systems got all kinds of problems just like all the other predecessors before it. Pretty messed up. Screwed up, I must say. And Microsoft, if you don't stop trying to force people to use Microsoft Windows 10, basically what you're going to do is you're going to get people where they're just going to install Never 10. They're just going to install WXP Control Panel. Then they're going to enable or disable, Microsoft Windows 7 or 8 or 8.1 from installing Microsoft Windows 10. Or this might happen. They're either going to go and buy either an Apple Macintosh computer or an Apple Macintosh or Apple's Macintosh book, or they're going to buy an LG Chrome-based computer, or they're going to buy a Samsung or an Acer or a HP or a Gateway or Google Chromebook computer. You're basically going to alienate your audience. You're going to alienate your customers. You're going to basically send all your customers to Apple and Google, because at least Apple and Google don't try to force their operating systems on people. So, you do what you're going to do, Microsoft. Go ahead, try to force everybody to use Microsoft Windows 10. But just remember, you're going to lose a lot of people to Apple, a lot of people to Google, and you're going to make a lot of people not trust you anymore. You're basically going to make people install Never 10 or XWP Control Panel just to delete drivers, just to delete files, and disable the part of Microsoft Windows 7 or Microsoft Windows 8 or Microsoft Windows 8.1 that allows Microsoft Windows 10 drivers to be installed. Okay? It is sad that you're trying to force people to use your operating system when they don't want to. I'm Hercules. Hope you enjoyed this video.